Happy Friday, Facebook family. And today I wanted to talk about happiness, which is something that has been on my mind. And it's something we all desire and we claim we want, but do we really know what it is and how to achieve it? And have you ever thought about happiness? What causes you to be happy? I'm sure you've stated it and focused it as a desire to be happy, but do you know what process you need to help get you to that happier state and what it involves? So one piece of that is using your emotions as a guide. Earlier this week, I talked about how your emotions and how they feel in your body are your roadmap and your compass for life and for reaching your end goals. So your body has more wisdom than you realize or give it credit for. And most commonly, although it's known as intuition or gut feeling, what you receive, you also receive throughout your entire body. And so one way to look for that is when your body feels happy or light, that's what you're experiencing, something true to your beliefs or in the direction that you want to be going. It's the right path. And when your body feels heavy or negative, what you're experiencing is separating you and holding you apart from your truths. So how can you use this? One way to do that is looking at resistances. So if you've committed to something and you just really don't want to do it, you're resisting it, stop and explore those feelings rather than either just giving up or being like, I'm just going to push through it. Stop and explore that. So maybe you're an introvert and you just don't feel like leaving the house. And that's something to acknowledge and know about. Or maybe it's an activity that goes against your beliefs. Maybe it's something you don't want to have in your life anymore. Maybe you've just overcommitted and this is your body being like, okay, stop, slow down. So as an introvert, I love doing things and I love going out to see people, but I've also had tendencies where I'll go from doing nothing all week till I'll have to do something every single night of the week, and it just overwhelms me. And in the end, my body's just like, nope, don't want to leave today. This is not helping you. This is not healing you. You need to just stay in. And it's because even though I love these activities, they still are a drain on me. And I need days in the week to just stay home, stay calm, and just care for myself. And just take care of me. So taking care of you is not selfish. And so back to happiness. So happiness in itself is not something you find externally. In fact, for the average person, our happiness only comes from about 20% of it, 10% of it comes externally, from external factors. So happiness really comes from within. So the path to happiness comes from using your emotions as your guides. And so happiness comes from seeking out the things that make you feel good. Those things that are in alignment with your greater self, that just are part of your greater purpose. So hanging around people who make you feel good or engaging in activities that make you feel good. And this is both before and after. So some of us think that social media makes us feel good, but it is not. Social media is sort of what our brain goes to as a quick fix. If you've had something negative, your brain's like, I'm going to go to social media and feel better. But then you get sucked in and you spend about 20 or 30 minutes on there. But afterwards, at least to me, it feels like a waste of time. I was like, how did I end up on social media and why am I spending 20 minutes here? I could have been doing other things. So it's not actually a thing that makes you feel good in the long run. It's just something your brain's like, I need a quick fix. I'm going to go to this. So happiness also will not arrive from external factors or waiting on things. So if you say, I want to get in a promotion, or I'm waiting to be happy from a promotion, from buying a house, from getting a new client, happiness is not dependent on that. Happiness does not come externally, and it only comes from within you. It comes from knowing who you are, having connections, knowing your purpose, and loving yourself. And so choosing to be happy is a choice. And when you choose to be happy, that's happier people attract success and happiness to them. And this has been both proven through the study of positive psychology and also in quantum physics. So I'm very much, I love the art and the mixture of science. So I love doing the research into the science behind this as well. But I'll go into that another time. And today I just want to sort of give you an overview of some of these things. So the ultimate lesson in life is that all we need is inside of us to be happy. And while that desiring new things or achieving new things is an important part of that experience, we actually receive them once we are already happy inside. And so you've probably heard of that as such as the law of attraction, which I've been talking about a bit lately. But it's I'll go into this in depth another time. I can go off on a total tangent with that. So if this is something you're curious about, let's talk about how your mindset and beliefs could be holding you back from what you desire. Because I love this topic. I love learning about it. I love the changes it's made in my life. But next thing I wanted to discuss is just negative emotional states where happiness may seem impossible. And so when you're in a negative emotional state, it can seem like happiness is beyond reach. It's so far away, and how will you ever get there? And really, it's by taking baby steps. So when you're in depression or rage, it can feel like, oh, if I want to get happy, it's sort of the equivalent to trying to jump the Grand Canyon. You've got this great chasm that you've got in front of you, and you're like, I want to be over there. I want to be happy, but I don't know how to reach that. So what you need to be first aware of is your current emotions. So acknowledge how you are feeling and just sort of be present in the moment, be present about that feeling. One way to do that is to actually verbalize it, whether it's in your head or out loud, and say, I feel angry right now, or I feel depressed right now. And then thank yourself for noticing that. So it'd be like, I feel angry right now. Thank you, blank, for noticing this. So thank you, Alyssa, for noticing this. So not only are you acknowledging your current state and being aware of it, because as with anything, like awareness, you can't change anything until you have an awareness of it. You can't track something until you have a number of it, so a metric. So knowing what state you're in, and then thanking yourself for noticing that. So it brings you first into a state of awareness, and then it also opens you up for gratitude. You may not be in a state of gratitude yet, but you're like, thank you for noticing where you're at the moment, and thanking yourself. And so that's one little quick trick I find may be helpful in getting you to the next step. And so now that you're actually observing your emotions, you need to find something that can bring you slightly up the emotional scale. And so a good referral of emotions is the emotional guidance scale from Abraham Hicks, so going from depression, you would move up to insecurity, or from rage, you'd move up to revenge. And I'm not saying these are good emotions. I'm not saying that insecurity is good or that revenge is good, but it's the next emotion up from where you were. So what you're doing is you are taking a step up, and you are getting your way out of there. And you're not going to stop at that step, but you have to then focus on your win from, I just took myself out of a really negative emotional state and I brought myself up a level. And so that is a huge piece in being able to create that happiness in your life, is being able to notice when you're in an emotional state that you don't want to be in, or when you're in a positive emotional state too. Notice your positive emotions, and then taking that to the next level. And hello. So where have you sought happiness before? And now that you realize it won't actually what have you sought that you now realize won't actually make you happy? Or what are you pursuing at the moment? Stop and think like, oh, I'm going to be happy when I do this. It's not bad to desire and to want to achieve things, but you can't tie your happiness to that external thing. You can't rely on that to be the thing that makes you happy. You can achieve it because it's a goal you set or it's a thing you want to have in your life. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't tie your happiness to those external factors. So what are the things that you're doing to make you happy, or the people that you're around to be happy? One last fact I just wanted to leave you with is when there's two people, one is a happier person, positive, and one is a more negative person. So together, the happier person is not going to lift up the negative person. The negative person is actually going to suck the positive person down. And even if the happier person props up the negative person, they're not actually lifting them up. They're just becoming a crutch for that negative person. But in the long run, that negative person will be the one that sucks you down. So it's a heavier emotion. So which person do you want to be? Do you want to be that positive person that you're sort of spreading that positivity around, or do you want to be the negative person sucking other people down? And then who are you surrounding yourself with? That's a long, hard question that you have to answer. And I actually I've had negative people in my life before, and I didn't want to let them go. And when I finally did, it made such a difference in my life. So pay attention to who are those negative people in your life that may be sucking you or draining you. Some of them you can't get rid of or remove from your life, but you also just need to be aware of that so you can better protect your emotions around them. So why am I talking about this? because I've done a lot of self work through business and life coaches as well, and just reading and education. I love mindset. I love high performance. I love just being able to live your best life. And so all of this has made such a huge difference in my life, and I'm so grateful I did it. So I hope something from this inspires you. I hope there's a new habit or a new positive influence on your life. And if it intrigues you and you'd like to explore more, I love to work with my clients to clarify their goals, break through those limiting beliefs, set powerful habits, and to create new experiences, and then follow proven systems to create the lives of their dreams. So because if I can do it, you can do it too. And so that's what I'm all about sharing. So have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon.